For the primary races all across New York City. Pix 11, of course, is your election headquarters, and we'll be bringing you up to date on the candidates and the issues before you ahead of the polls.
Early voter turnout has been low, even though every single one of the city council seats are up for grabs in Tuesday's election. Now, some of the most contentious races are taking place in the Bronx. Joining us this morning is the Democratic incumbent for District 13 in the Bronx, Marjorie Velasquez. So good morning to you, Councilwoman. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So your district is really one of the most politically, I would say, engaged, right, in the Bronx. So why do you look, when you look at the early voting numbers, why do you think they've been so low?
I think they're used to still showing up on primary day. I think early voting still has its way of working its way throughout the community. So what we're trying to do is amplify the message. So thank you for sharing that today and making sure that everyone knows that there are different ways of voting. Absentee ballot, even early voting, because it's so important for us to just get everyone's voice to be heard.
So you are facing several Democratic challengers, and some of the issues that people are talking about, the additional development in Throgs Neck and the rezoning of Bruckner Boulevard, but a lot of residents don't want any of that. So how do you respond to them?
I would say I've heard otherwise. There has been a vocal minority throughout that side of the district, but this district is larger, and the calls that we get in my office from seniors asking for help, right? A lot of displacement because there aren't enough apartments for them and housing specifically geared to our seniors, to our veterans. And so this development that was approved, but it's still now in the courts. We have 100 units for seniors with wraparound services. And when we're talking about our veterans, it was securing 25 units for our veterans. So I sleep well at night knowing that our families have an opportunity in this future, upcoming future, to have a place to stay that otherwise they wouldn't.
Okay, so that's what's going on in the election world. And obviously, it's going to be a race that we're following very closely. But I do want to talk about this other bill, because I think it's a big talker in New York City, right? These outdoor dining sheds, whether or not they should remain permanent because of what happened during the pandemic. You call the sheds a lifeline for restaurants, right? So you're putting forth a bill that's going to go up for a vote soon. What does that look like? Are you gaining support? Because there are some folks, I guess, in Manhattan that are saying, well, these things just look ugly, and they're taking away parking, and they're eyesores, and where rodents love to go.
So we heard them. We heard everybody. If folks remember what the first hearing at all City Council for the new class was ours, right? And it was over 8 hours, right? I think almost 10 hours of nonstop testimony. And beyond that, we went to these council members, their districts, right? Yeah. We're talking about Chris Martes, Eric Botchers, Carlina Rivera's. Yeah. We did the walkthroughs, we understood, we saw what was going on. And so what we did with the mayor, and hopefully you guys remember when we tore down these sheds that have been abandoned, that are, just not for our communities. But this is a moment also to highlight the ones that have done well, right? And what we're talking about is building back up and amplifying the good actors, right? So much energy is often focused on the bad actors, right? That they bring this whole element down. And such a positive thing like outdoor dining that our families in the Bronx actually finally had a chance to, right? And so what this bill does is address those concerns, right? So what we're doing is the permanent structures will no longer be present, right? We're also shortening it from 12 months to 8 months. And what we're also allowing for is an easier way, an easier path to also get the sidewalk licenses, which will be full year. So we're allowing businesses to have an option of sidewalk or roadway, or both, but also making it affordable and finally having the opportunity to have it in all 5 boroughs, right? And with it being temporary now, we actually have an opportunity to address those concerns, and after it is passed, we will have a rulemaking where we have businesses and community members design at least 3 to 4 different concepts that they can see within their communities. So it's actually something that we all can engage in, right? I think that that's part of it. When we have a voice and a seat at the table, we feel that we actually own it as well, not only as the business, but as the community.
But who will oversee them and make sure that they're maintained?
That will be DOT issues, the licenses and enforcement, working in collaboration with sanitation, FDNY, Department of Health, because it's not just one, it's multiple agencies involved. And one of the things that this bill does have is that they will meet on a quarterly basis, sharing ideas, sharing good practices, and really assuring that this is going to work well for our communities.
And if there are those bad actors that you're talking about, right? Are there fines that are built into the bill for who or how does that kind of go about?
There will be enforcement, and
Yeah.
what that looks like will be, obviously, you want to give folks a chance to
Yeah,
remediate, right? And so one of that is like you have a fine, but it also depends how egregious it is, right?
Yeah.
Because if it's not safe, you get it knocked down,
Right,
or
right.
you get, removed, right? And it's how DOT works with that, and in collaboration with the other agencies.
Before we let you go, the City Council is also working to get the executive budget passed by July. Feeling optimistic about that happening?
I sit on the budget negotiation team with the City Council and the Speaker. So I have to just highlight the Speaker and all my colleagues that sit on that team. We've been working nonstop, right? So it's team coffee for all of us and no sleep. And we anticipate on having a timely budget, yes.
Sounds like our job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Okay, keep us posted on the budget. I know a lot of people are paying close attention to it. I know it's tough negotiations
It
going
is.
on. Councilwoman Marjorie Velasquez, thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.